the toilet.
Chris is talking, but I'm not listening. No, it is. Let me tell you, she's gonna fix it, but she's gonna fix it, and she's gonna remove him from her life. See,
maybe
no,
if
maybe.
that's that type of woman.
No, it ain't maybe. It ain't maybe. It may take a little bit of time, but she's going to remove him from her life because he does not fix anything when she asks him to fix it.
I understand, but sometimes that could be a month, sometimes that could be 10 years, sometimes that could be a day.
It does not.
It's just a matter of.
Doesn't matter.
Some people just not holding themselves accountable.
Right.
Like a relationship, you can't run a relationship just your way. It takes two people.
No, it does.
Communicate, understand each other, put it into action, balance that shit.
When a woman tells you she is uncomfortable, as her man, it is your job to either remove her from what's making her uncomfortable or destroy that shit. Those are
like
your
options. Said, if the man receives it, some men hear it, they hear you, but they ain't whatever. She just gonna say that next week. Yeah, she told me that. Yeah, whatever. She gonna say that next year too. Yeah, she told me she don't like that. But guess what? She told me she don't like that. But every time we do it, we have sex right after. She don't like when I do that, but we popping off next time.
But guess what?
So we can't be contradicting in what we asking them.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. She can have sex with him and be straight disconnected.
But my thing is, how you gonna be disconnected with the most interactive thing we do with each other called sex?
Because they disconnect. Because they check out. Listen to me. Because they check out of the relationship emotionally. And they're just going through the motions at that point. She is looking for her escape.
And yeah, we know you ain't talking about J-Lo. She like, hold on.
And until she makes her escape, she's going to keep him as calm as possible, so she does not get hurt on her way out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, you understand?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
So if a woman tells you her man, she is uncomfortable, it is 12,000% his job to correct it. Remove her from the situation, or you may have to adjust what you do. She might be uncomfortable with something you're doing. You have to adjust that. It is what it is. Like, we're not going to let men off the hook. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do the vice.
You can't let them
I'm not going to do the vice versa. Yeah, I'm not going to do the vice versa. I'm not going to do the, oh, well, women do it too. No, we not doing that. We here for accountability.
Yeah, but in some of those transactions, there's two ways of accountability. You have to acknowledge that.
Hold on.
With some of the stuff you're talking about.
Hold on 1 second.
You in your hand. And
hold on.
It's you and a whole woman with a lot of things going on.
I have to address somebody. I got to address somebody. I will slap you like he did Chris Rock, Jay.
JB.
All right. Keep my line out your motherfucking mouth. But seriously though. Like, on that part, men have to be 100% accountable.
No, I agree on that part. When the woman makes you feel uncomfortable, her question directly is towards the men being accountable. And if she didn't do that, I ain't do that because she didn't do that. And she didn't do this, that's why I ain't do that. No, when she say uncomfortable, that's it. Boom.
Right.
Well, I ain't make you feel uncomfortable because you ain't make me feel comfortable when I came home and had my bath water or whatever. Look at Day over there cracking up.
No, definitely. A majority of us make that adjustment and we fix the uncomfortability. That's why we're married for 17 years, 20 years, 19 years, 30 years, because we put our wife's needs ahead of everybody else's. If she uncomfortable, I got to make her comfortable. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. Everybody else.
And like Deanna said, two ways is me telling you and you hearing that I'm uncomfortable. That's the two ways.
Exactly. And I let you know that I heard you by correcting the situation.
Yeah, putting them actions behind it.
You know what I'm saying? I let you know that. Question.
Oh, question. If I've told my man what I need him to do, but he continues not to do it, small things, but nothing less, he's not doing it. What is your opinion on what should I do? Now, it's small things. It ain't nothing big, but some small things. What would you do? What's your thing, bro? Since you holding men so damn accountable.
Listen, yo, if the small things aren't unreasonable, because some small things can be big things to us.
See what I'm saying? Back it up, perception.
Right. No, it's not perception. It's not perception. For you, it's small. It's small for you, but it's big for me. Why? Because we walk in two different worlds. You understand? Like a lot of women be like, oh no, just let it go. And men be like, no, we can't let it go. We have to destroy him because he's going to come back and try to do this bullshit later. Small to y'all, big to us.
And again, I mean, just for me answering that question as a woman, if I was, keep telling him to do small things, like, it's aggravating. That's all I can say. It ain't something that I'm going to say, oh, get out of here, you ain't worth nothing. But it's just aggravating. But wait, hold on 1 second. Chris, hold on 1 second. That's all I can say is just a little.
And that's what I was just about to say.
Over and over.
Right. I was just about to say the same thing Erica said. Is he capable of changing the small things?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, sometimes small is relative, and small is relative. It's not perception, it's relative. So if the small things are small to the point where it's not going to affect nothing major, then like you said, let it go. But if he's hitting on all the major things,
I would like to hear what type of small things. If you could be more detailed. I
don't even care what the small things
it's like, because like you said, something small to you may be big to somebody else.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying?
But see, that's why I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, but that's part of the question though. Still, it's like you can't answer the question if you don't know what the small things are.
No, but I can't. But that's the whole thing. I can't answer the question, and I just did.
But to the best of you,
no, not to the best of me. No, I answered the question.
But you just said it depends on what the small things are. So it's all depending on what the small things are.
Like I said, depending on what, evidently they're small things. That it's nothing major. If he's doing the major shit without no problem when she asks, then let that small shit go. Because
what the girl Erica said, small for her, but a challenge for him. Small things can become big, and satisfying your mate, children second, and then your parents, siblings, etc. A lot of people saying a lot of things on that.
So you have to know when to let small things go. Why ruin something major for something small?
But I'm with you on this part of if the small things aren't gonna affect anything major, and if it's something that's like not that serious, because just by you saying it's small, it already kind of puts it in the area descriptively as nothing that serious.
It doesn't like you said, it's small. So she's stating that it's small. It's nothing too serious. It just might be a pet peeve.
Yeah, that's what she said. That's exactly how she said.
So sometimes we let pet peeves get the best of us, and a small thing really isn't a thing at all.
That's true.
It's just something inside of you.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Even when I could say it's aggravating, it ain't that what they doing is aggravating. It's just that it's bothering you for some reason or another. So to me, when I be telling boys or people around me certain things, and you got, like she said, you keep doing this, like you forgot to take the garbage out again or something small, but it ain't that serious. If it's like, come on, man, we still got our mortgage, lights bill, we got food. Like, why you worried about the nonsense? So, I mean, if it ain't gonna affect nothing big, and if it ain't nothing real serious about makeup or breakup, I wouldn't worry about it.
It bothers. She said it bothers her. The conversation that have been had a few times, and honestly, he might think it's so small that it's nothing and it doesn't matter. But if she lets you know. You understand? If she lets you know to the best of your ability, make adjustments or try to change.
He's not listening, Fuller. He always But I like it though because I mean you just have a strong opinion like me.
Right.
On
I'm listening.
a
I'm
man
listening.
and a
I
woman.
just disagree.
You ain't even disagree. You gotta listen. You can't disagree, darling. It ain't nothing to
No,
disagree about.
I'm
We having a
talking to Fuller.
conversation.
She said I'm not listening. Oh, I'm listening. I just disagree. And a lot of times people be like, "Oh, you ain't listening." No, I'm listening. I just disagree. And disagreement to some people sounds like not listening.
Yeah, that's true. That comes off as that. Hey, what's up, cuz? Yeah. Any more questions? They got some good questions. She said he's been like that since.
Yeah, like you said, like Erica said,
You got the right one, darling.
her
You
husband
know how
leaves
that's how
his
we be loving
socks.
on each other. It's real.
Yeah, hold on a second, sis. Erica said her husband leaves his socks on the side of the bed. So annoying, but not worth the argument. It's
Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It bothers me because let me see, it's a lot of good ones.
Right.
That's a good one.
We all do learn the do's and don'ts when we are kids, but all parents don't give the same do's and don'ts.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And like she said, Shalice says, pick your battles, you know.
Yeah,
you don't want to be fighting something silly like that.
Right. You have to, and that's what I was about to say. You really have to pick your battles. Is it really worth dismantling the whole relationship? Because it's a pet peeve, it's a pet peeve of yours. You know, he may have grown up not doing these things and view these things are maybe useless. She may grow up thinking that these things are important to her.
But let's try to get some clarity on something that's
we
going
have
between.
to see, and here's what a lot of us don't do. We don't prioritize how our mates feel. Some of us. You understand?
But
some of us don't prioritize.
I want to touch on this thing because they're having a conversation that I think I just want to hear what you got to say about it. Because Clear TV saying that satisfy your mate first, children second, and then your parents and siblings. After that, in order.
Yes.
And he said in that order, and your immediate household has to be satisfied over everything else. Ms. Fuller, she says, children second. They had no choice on being here. So Clear TV says he disagrees.
Yes,
so do you,
children, let me explain
that?
something to you. See, when we say your mate first, people think that means ignore the children completely.
Okay.
Understand, these children are going to grow up and they're going to leave home. And then you're going to be stuck in the house with the man that you ignored all this time, putting him second. So now this man has learned to do without you. And so now that the kids are gone, you want to focus on him. But he not focusing on you. He off doing what he doing, hanging out with the boys, going to work, going to fishing, playing basketball. And now he doesn't have time for you, but you got time for him now. Understand, when you have children, you are still supposed to make time for your husband.
And in your way, you saying mate first, like, which is what he said. Your mate first, your children second, your parents and siblings on down the line from there.
Exactly. So
I agree with that too. I'm a little girl, but I do agree. Kids, man, listen, they grow older, they don't even think about you.
Right. So a lot of women, when they hear that, they think of, oh, here, baby, you eat, you go feed yourself. That's not what that means.
I agree. But I definitely agree with her on children, or both of them saying that children ain't have no choice on being here. And what he said?
He said children definitely had a choice when they chose to get to that egg. But of course, bro, because when you say that to women, they think you mean, oh, you just abandon the kids altogether. No, that's not what that means. Like when they say daddy eats first.
It is sad to say that even me growing up in certain relationships when I was first I ain't a parent, but I've been a parent to people. I've had that thing where it was programmed to me by other people. Oh no, the kids first, forget the man.
Hold on. Well, why can't you get the children completely out the way so your mate can have more attention? Because your mate is still there. That's 18 to 20 years before you get these kids out the way. So how long should he have to wait?
Yeah.
If he got to wait 18 to 20. If he got to wait 18 to 20 years, when you finally ready, you might have to wait because he's dealing with somebody else because he had to wait.
Yeah. And honestly, I think the children, me being with my dad's side, I had that structure where that was in place as that role of man, mates and children. And it really, from a different perspective, living with my mom, being in a single mom household with a different daddies and all that stuff around, it really showed me the value in that placement. And I seen my stepmother pick him
Hold on.
first,
She says she's
and
not
it made a
talking about.
difference.
She says she's not talking about to 18. She's talking about the night. Well, 9 times out of 10, when it comes to the night, women are usually tired and sleepy.
Yeah. I got another one. They say I sometimes think about leaving a relationship because there have been times when I feel he should have stepped up and he didn't. So what would he with what he doesn't do and not stepping up and making me not like him like I used to. So, when a man not stepping up in a relationship and, that's, I can't say anything about that.
She answered her own question.
You got to do what you got to do.
No, she answered her own question.
Yes, she did. She did. She did it. She absolutely did.
Like you answered your own question. If it's not, if it's not what you want, then it's not going to work, and it's always going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
See,
you should never be comfortable with it.
You have to understand, right? In a relationship, you and him come first. Everybody else comes second. You understand? You shouldn't be putting nobody before your wife, and your wife shouldn't be putting nobody before the husband.
Not if we are our significant other. We'll pep up, drink Pepsi, take extra vitamins.
Yeah, but see, that's not everyone. And women tend to need more sleep and rest than men.
And I do believe this, what Jay Goodson said, which happened to some relationships I've known along the way, that people outgrow one another. And they be okay with it. They just like it works.
Well,
I don't know. But
people
what do you think about that?
They outgrow one another because they don't choose to learn the person that their mate has become.
That change.
You understand? Yes. Like I said before, about an hour ago. You have the opportunity to fall in love over and over again with your mate because they are going to be constantly evolving and changing.
Absolutely.
You understand?
See, men are deep thinkers, and this is why we are on security 24/7. Why women usually are the first teachers and love providers.
Right. Exactly. But she said it's a sacrifice. You don't sacrifice. You don't sacrifice your happiness with your husband or wife for others.
Yeah.
You don't.
And don't sacrifice your own happiness for the mate that you with if they're not really gonna step up and you can't accept those changes. You ain't supposed to be with them forever if you really know they're not making you happy anymore. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like she said, you just gotta move on. If it's that deep.
Right, it's that deep. Or you have to learn
the new version of
the new person. See, most of us, we still love the image that we started out with 10 years ago. That person is not that person anymore. They changed a little bit along the way. Some people start to take the relationship for granted.
Absolutely.
And when they start taking the relationship for granted, then things change because they think you're always going to be there. And that's not the case.
Okay, we got only strong women think her mate is not priority, and they are the ones that are always single. Clear TV streams. Dayla, she disagrees and very strong, and he is my priority.
Right, but like I said, you have to understand in relationships, and if you don't believe me, just start checking yourself. Women tend to put other people, children, siblings, before they do their husband.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree. And we talked about that with the jobs and stuff. We got to stop doing that. Your mate, that's the person that's supposed to go
some of me who put the job before their husband.
Yeah, you was talking about that.
And if you keep putting things before him, he's going to start to put things before you.
Mm-hmm. And before you realize it, you ain't going to be a thought.
Right. And before you realize it, you are no longer his #1 priority. You're now third, fourth on the list. To whereas if he might be third on yours, you fourth and fifth on his now. Because you made him not your first priority.
I agree. I agree. And like you say, it's about learning, because a lot of us coming into these things without knowing how to, we're not coming from a foundation of a 2-home household. We're just now building and changing that dynamics from way back when. Not saying that.
We come from more of a 2-parent household than not.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying these days with the men being locked up, let's talk. Men locked up, they was taken away, boom, baby booming, and all this stuff that happened. We had a lot of history that is why we're having this conversation, even to the point where,
do you know only 51% of men don't have children? 51% of black men don't have children.
No.
So 49% have all the children.
What I'm saying is for us to get back to the dynamics of what our culture stands for as far as family, being as though we're the men, our black men definitely #1 fathers, even though they don't look at or portray them in the media as being the fathers that they are. You know, it's more black men changing diapers than white men in any other heritage. That's facts. Is to be researched. It's a lot of things that y'all don't get credit for, which is why we as women have to give the crowns. Like they got the movie out, the Woman Queen or King Queen or whatever. I don't know. But that's also part of the whole problem.
Don't even send me down that path.
No, but what I'm saying is this is the path that this world is on, which is why they're trying to break the dynamics of the family so that we won't be able to reproduce and teach each other how to work with each other, balance these things out. When you got women being empowered by a movie or a commercial or whatever, all this shit on TV, it's like for us to talk this conversation. And some people that's like, man, listen, I don't, and that's okay. But it's just a point that it's some people, and there's a couple of people up here now interacting with this conversation, getting answers to their questions. You know what I'm saying? Having a base of communication where, like you say, it ain't about challenging or debating or vice versa, and none of that. It's just about us bringing together some things that we could get off of this queen, king, and all these crowns is all mixed up, and it ain't supposed to be like that. It's man, woman, children. That's it. All this other stuff trying to misplace the pieces. In chess, you can't make the king the queen. It's just the piece that it is. You can't change the pieces as you feel you want to in the chess.
Right. The pieces have to be what they are.
That's it.
You understand?
This is our podcast right here, darling.
This is it, baby sister. But yeah,
this is what we're doing. We gotta have to make it go stream. We gotta come on Clear TV stream. Who Clear TV stream?
I'm gonna be serious. But at the end of it all, you have to stop putting people before your husband and wife.
Facts. Period.
Including children.
Period.
You have to, because if you want a healthy relationship, that's part of it. That's part of having a healthy relationship. You understand? Because those kids are going to grow up. Those kids are going to start families of their own. And then you will be left sitting in the house. And now you're going to want him to stop doing what he's doing because you finally got time for him.
And you know what? Let's set the groundwork now and make these adjustments and hold ourselves accountable for our part in all the mess so that when our kids get older, they could be like, you know what? When dad and mom went through their challenges, look how they handled it. You know what I mean? The problem solving skills within the household, these children take that on into their relationships, friends, and especially romantic relationships, so they can have a family dynamic that ain't based on all of this
dysfunction.
Tug of war of power.
Dysfunction.
Yeah, household dysfunction. Absolutely.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a power struggle in the house.
It's straight dysfunction. It's straight dysfunctional. You understand? And the more dysfunction we allow in, the weaker the relationship becomes.
Dorothy said, I cannot put a man before my kids. He might leave, but my kids will be there. Listen,
And
Dorothy,
let me,
I thought the same thing until my babies turned 22 and 19, and I got to beg them for a hug. I got to ask them for time to go to the movies. I got to, you know what I'm saying? I have to ask these kids, like, it's all good when they little and you like, nah, nigga, my baby's gonna eat before you. But guess what? That kid will be happy with some chicken nuggets. Give
but
your
guess
man a
what?
steak.
But wait,
Give the kids the chicken
more
nuggets.
important, hold on, sis.
Steak anyway,
More
they don't know how to
important than
eat it.
that,
Yeah.
more important than that, when he or she started having sex,
Woo!
they gonna forget it. They gonna forget about you anyway.
Forget about you, Dorothy. Don't let them do it to you. They did it to me, and that hurt my whole heart. But don't get caught up on
They
these
gonna,
kids.
they gonna forget
Don't
about
get
you.
caught
They
up
gonna
on
stop.
them.
They
They
gonna
gonna forget about
listen.
you. How your whole feelings hurt.
Listen. They gonna stop calling.
With
They
no
gonna stop
man.
calling you as
That
much.
hurt.
They gonna stop coming over as much. They gonna stop because they living their own life now.
Yep.
And now you sitting there with three. You sitting there with three
And
cats
they
in the
little
pit bull.
earrings and expressions things and shit, changing their
Yeah, but
sneakers. They
no,
don't want to wear this no more, and setting more demands on you than anything. Because one thing about children, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, bro.
they're
Because you've
selfish.
been with somebody, children are so
They're
much more
selfish.
demanding than your mates. The kids are they like little bossies. Like they trying to boss you around and make you feel guilty because you
Man,
ain't doing this for them.
hold on, sis.
You ain't do that for them.
Hold on. No.
You
Let me explain
got
something to you.
Huh?
Let me explain something to you. Kids are evil.
evil. Yes.
Let me tell you, kids are evil.
They take a household shit.
Listen, let me explain something to you. Them kids gonna grow up. They gonna start having sex. They gonna start having their own family, and they not gonna have time for you.
Shalice said, huh? They devils.
Oh, they not devils. They evil.
Little demons. Little evil. That's what the
Evil.
evil.
Kids are evil. They mean and evil.
Oh,
Right?
God,
But
I
no,
can't.
these kids are gonna grow up. They're gonna start having relationships of their own. They're gonna starting families. They're gonna move out, and you're gonna be in that house with 3 cats and a pit bull. Why? Because your husband is out enjoying life when you should have been there with him. You understand? He out enjoying life. He ain't left you. He's still with you, and y'all still hang out from time to time like good old friends.
She said, Trent know my son. He's not like that.
I do know him.
Listen, that's our
Listen,
baby boy.
let me tell you, I do know him, and he's a great young man. But let me tell you, mothers, let me tell you, when boys start having sex and they end up in paradise, they don't want to be up underneath you like that no more. They want her up underneath him.
Hey, bro, I think you got to put on that art hat, and paint on that wall over there to show the little stick figures or what's going to happen.
Listen,
Listen, I went through that. I'm telling you, I went through that myself, so I'm speaking from experience. I put these kids before everything. Myself, the man, everything. And I tell you what, the youngest one is 19 on Sunday. They don't, and I have boys, 5 boys plus. They all little babies to take care of them.
Let me tell you, when I'm sitting there chopping it up with you,
now. I got milk. I can't even get milk. You know what I mean? Listen, bro.
You see,
I wish somebody told me.
Hold on, sis. Hold on. See, you not understanding me. Yes, your kids are your kids, and you can be there for them when they need you. No one's saying that, and that's what I mean. And women always think when we say don't put them before your mate, that's what they think, that you can't be there for them when they need you. Guess what? When they need you, the kids need you, he gonna be there for them too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you cannot base your life strictly around them and ignore your mate. And honestly, if you're paying more attention to the kids, that might be the reason why he's not doing the little things.
And just be mindful, like, you know, also it's like I'm big on family too. Like if my boys needed me and if my brothers needed me or the boys needed me, I'm gonna be there. But it's just about, like you say, prioritizing things, you know what I'm saying? Because again, these kids, they're on to their chapters. When we was in our age, we was doing the same thing. Mommy and daddy went through the same thing with us. They wanted us to still come around and do things. Even to this day, my dad, an older guy, and he still be like, when you gonna come and see me? I know you older now, but I want to spend a day with you. And even Mr. Turner Jones, I got to put him on because he just posted up there. I want a daddy and daughter day, you know, with my kids.
Listen,
you know, these kids get older and they
hold on.
really,
Let me
they love
respond.
you, but
Hold on,
it's
sis.
like,
Let me respond to Shalise. It doesn't matter. Children, teens, adults, you don't put none of them before
yeah,
you put
all
your
of the
mate.
children.
Because they are going to grow up and they are going to leave you, and you are going to be in a house with a man that is not there. Hold on.
Yeah. And even if your spouse wasn't there first, I see Kina. She said, how do you put your kids before your
Exactly. How
spouse
do
when
you
your
put
spouse
your
was there first?
right?
Talk to that.
You
What you
understand?
feel?
And trust me, you don't put nobody before your spouse. Not mommy, not daddy, not kids. Your spouse comes first.
And
You
I tell you
understand?
what, your kids ain't paying them bills. You know, you got to think about your man going out there. Most men, real men, well, I don't want to say real men because I know how you think, but men today, most men, they out there working, they trying to provide for the family and protect the family. You figure they go out there, they coming home, and the wife's like, well, I ain't have enough to give you what you need, but I got the kids, all of these different things that most of the kids waste, they break, they don't appreciate.
But see, hold on. It's not even about that. It's about time. It's about time. Let me tell you.
My oldest is about to be 24, and he'll tell you I'm his best friend. My dude don't do it because he don't want to do it, which is why he's about to be alone. And I
Say
just say
less.
this, and I'm gonna say this from me. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle that passed
Hold
away,
on.
his best friend was his mom, and
Shalise
you
is
could do a
saying define.
disservice to a child
Oh, hold on,
with
sis.
that as well. Go ahead.
Hold on. Shalise is asking to define spouse.
Okay.
It is what it is. Your spouse is your spouse. The one that you with, the one that you lay down with, the one that you wake up with.
No,
Yes,
no, but
that's your spouse.
yeah, but I don't
Listen,
want Dorothy to, because you cut
hold
off
on.
with the bills and stuff like that. I'm not saying
Listen,
your kids.
I know
My
my
kids pay
nephew
bills,
pay bills.
huh?
I know my nephew is responsible. I know my nephew pay bills,
Yeah.
but at some point he's going to leave. He's going to leave. And my other nephew, his little brother, he's going to grow up. He's going to be responsible. He's going to pay bills. But at some point, he's going to leave. You have to understand, these kids are going to leave. And exactly. And that's why people end up divorced after 25 years of marriage.
Yeah. That's
22
right.
years of marriage,
Yeah,
they end up
stay.
divorced because you put all your time and effort into someone other than them.
Mm-hmm.
And since you put all your time and effort into someone other than them, they went off and found a life of their own without you.
And I tell you what, a lot of women sacrifice that for their kids, and their kids grow up and they don't even come back home. And even if they do come home to check on mommy by herself, she ain't got no man. And only man that's coming around is ones that's trying to use her or abuse her. You know, so it's really a thing. Oh, it's really shaky on that, because I get what she's saying. We love our children. We want them to, you know, be at home and take care of them, and we want them to, you know, even if like I got best friend brothers, and you know, it's all good. I get all of that. But what he's saying is, you don't, like Clarity T said, only a lifelong single mother thinks their kids is priority over everything else. And I mean, they could be 40 years old. That mother, she could be 80, and she'll still take care of that little boy or that boy like he's a baby.
He ain't a little boy.
Not that
He's
he's not independent or nothing. He could be a grown man with gray hair, and she'll still give him whatever he wants over a man.
Let me tell you, right? My 22-year-old son and my 19-year-old son, right? They still live at home, right? Man, they go in their rooms and they ignore the shit out of us. You understand? And they live in the house and they ignore us. You understand? The only two kids that's still up underneath us is the 10-year-old and the 4-year-old. You understand? The 22-year-old, he go in his room. The 19-year-old go in his room. We don't see them for hours. But they are no longer around us. They might pop out the room. Hey family, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? All right, deuces, and back in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They no longer desire to be around us like they were when they were children.
Especially when they have families, because on my dad's side, all of my brothers and siblings have families, married, kids. They don't have time to be like, Daddy, hi. You know, they like, listen, I got the kids banquet, I got the wife dinner, I got, I got stuff I got to do,
And like Kenneth said, in 25 years, all that time y'all spent together, you end up divorced because you didn't pour into your spouse.
That's true.
You understand? And she didn't pour into him, so he like, yeah, you know what, I'm out.
Don't get it twisted. Jackie said, don't get it twisted. I ain't doing that. My kids know what it is and how this goes. My dude can leave, but when my kids need me, that I'm there.
And you can be there, and you can be there for the kids. There's nothing wrong with that. And he should be there for the kids too. But the kids are gonna up and leave you as well.
Yeah. Shit. Granted, they find on some Romeo and Juliet shit. Some of these kids will leave with their spouse 16, 17. They be early. Because these kids today, they differ from us. These kids ain't afraid to be out on their own at 14, 13, or 12.
Just like we ready to leave. Let me tell you, they're not different from us. They just like us. They just like we weren't afraid to be together and up and leave. You understand?
We was talking about that too, bro, as far as the dynamics, and we could touch on this because I don't want to make it just about the kids, but when we were talking yesterday, the other day when you were here, and we was talking about how...
Hold on, sis, hold on. Kenneth said the problem is people try to make their kids their spouse.
Oh. Yeah. You got a lot of mom with their sons. Oh,
hold on. And yes, Kenneth, you have been with him since you were 16. I remember. You understand? She been with her husband since they were 16.
And shout out to Keita for being with her man since she was 16. Y'all, come on, stop.
Like, come on.
That's that old school love. Like, that's that high school sweetheart stuff. I love that. Awesome.
Like, but you have to understand, and like Claire said, it's majority women that do that. You understand? And then when the kids are no longer around and she's sitting at home and now she mad because he's not at home, so now she want a divorce.
It ain't nothing like no old cranky single woman. Huh? This be the worst one.
And like I said, and now you sitting there, but wait, and what happened?
They be looking for the young men then trying to get that thing.
No, but the young men don't want to be bothered with them. But now, like I said, now you're sitting there with 3 cats in the pit bull.
Yeah, you be seeing them.
But he, on the other hand, is off still living his life.
That was good, though. That was good.
Let me tell you, it's not that the women majority build the family. It's that women don't know when to let go of their children. Women don't know how and when to let go. You know what I'm saying? Women don't know how to let go of their children. Women think, oh, those are my babies. Yes, your baby is 45 years old with a family of his own, and his child is about to have a baby, and he about to have a grandchild, but you still putting that boy before you put your husband. That's insanity.
Yo, I'm telling you, I've seen some parents do it. More women than men, because a man, he was like, oh, you gotta get your ass out of here. He take care of his little girl to an extent, but he rather give her money to get her own stuff. He even had you running up and down the house. But a woman,
hold on a second, sis. Hold on. You still confusing being there to help your kids with putting them before your spouse. Once again, there's nothing wrong with being there to help them. But stop putting them before your spouse. I can't say it no other way. You understand? It is what it is.
And just so it's clarity too, because again, when they said spouse, because some girls, you know, with the boyfriends and the girlfriends, because we said spouse
Man,
is someone you're
listen.
married to.
Check this out,
That's
right?
spouse.
Check this out, right? Y'all, listen. And Keena said something else. She said legally married. Let me explain something to y'all. A contract with the state doesn't make your relationship stronger than one that doesn't have a contract with the state. It does not. Because I know
Absolutely.
people
That's what I was
that
gonna
are
say.
legally married that act like they not. You understand?
Absolutely.
It's about the commitment that you make to one another at the end of the day.
That's true. Like, you know who you with, and some people go together for so many
Hold
years.
on,
You be
hold on.
together 10 years
Let
and
me
you
answer
won't
this
even share
question.
anything with your mate. You still bad.
I'm always going to be there for my kids, but I'm not going to put them before I put my wife. I'm not putting them before her. I'm just not going to do it because, like I said, these kids are going to grow up. They're going to leave. And that's that. And yes, when any of my nieces or nephews call me, I'm going to be Johnny on the spot, but I'm not going to put them before my wife.
Facts. Hey, I mean, there's a lot of lessons and blessings out there.
And like Keena said, if you and your spouse have a real love relationship, you're not going to put your children before your spouse.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I
Like
said,
you have to,
I learned. You gotta
let me
learn
tell
that. You
you,
gotta learn that. If you don't know,
you have to put you and your spouse first and understand this. Anything that you need a license for, you only need a license to do something illegal.
Mm.
You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Research it.
Research. Get the books.
See, like I said, most people, here's the scenario, right? What I mean by you don't put your children before your spouse, you don't ignore the needs of your spouse for your children.
Well put. The needs.
Right. You don't put the needs of your spouse secondary to your children. You understand? You don't do it. And
it's,
hold on.
sorry, it's so sad because
your spouse doesn't need you. Your spouse doesn't need you to do the hand holding. That's not what your spouse needs. Your spouse doesn't need the hand holding. Your spouse is not needing you to make their meals and do everything. That's not what I'm talking about. You cannot put the needs of no one before your spouse. You're always going to take care of your children, but your spouse should never take a back seat to them. You understand? Well, and your spouse is also going to help you take care of said children because 9 times out of 10, they're your spouse's children too. But at some point, these kids have to understand, now you go on and live your life. Mommy and daddy going to go off and live theirs now.
That's right. That's right. Facts.
You understand?
Absolutely.
And that's all it is.
And see, I tell you, I appreciated that because you did that so simplicity. It was so simple, a kid could understand that. And it's so, you know what I'm saying? It's so direct to the point. Like when we say we want the man to answer the question, that was so put, bro, that even the old me can understand that with my old, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know? Because the needs, some women put their kids once before the needs of their mate. Never mind the needs of their mate.
Right.
And the kids' needs.
And it's just that. It's just their wants. But like I said, you have to understand when that's said, we're not talking about, listen, the kids need to be picked up, but I need to be picked up too.
No,
come get me first, then go get the kids. No, it's not that. Hey, babe, listen, swing by, scoop the kids. Oh, you quite welcome, sis.
And that's important too, because when you with a certain person, mate, you know, the worst thing to be is with somebody that don't like kids or don't like your kids.
Hold on.
You know?
But
like she said, some of y'all don't take care of your mate's children as if they're your own. All children should be treated like they're your own.
But would you like to know why?
Why,
because they've been told time and time again, those not your kids.
Yeah, that's true.
So when you telling somebody those ain't your kids, You know, you can pick them up, you can feed them, you can buy them shit, but you can't discipline them.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by discipline, I don't mean hitting on them.
That part, like she said,
I don't mean hitting on them. I mean, hey, give me that phone. You're on punishment. You can't scold them. So once again, if I'm not gonna be a part-time parent, I'm either all in or I'm out.
That's right. That's facts.
And nine times out of 10, it's the woman that says, "Don't talk to them like that. Them ain't your kids."
That's true. It's facts, bro. You ain't lying, bro.
If you're not allowing that man to accept them as his own, because the minute you tell a man those ain't your kids, he put a bookmark in that shit. You right. Them ain't my kids. So when you need something done, call a father. Don't ask me.
That part.
Because they ain't my kids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't never tell a man that's helping you with kids that those ain't his kids.
Never. Women never.
If you're looking for him to treat them like those are his kids.
Facts.
But in that same retrospect, if you want him to treat those kids like those his kids, your kids should treat him like that's their father.
Respectfully, no matter what. Facts.
So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Man, look, you can make a notarized letter. Oh, man, you can look and make a notarized letter and place all you want, follow within it, and then get a will and have it notarized. Life insurance is easy to get from there. Each one will.
Let me.
What he say? Each one will. Why he's going off? Each one.
But wait, you hear what Shalisa said? My son's dad girlfriend left her job, picked our son up from school, fed him dinner, brought him home, gave me flowers. I'm all the way team her.
Yes.
And guess what? Notice what she said. She picked up our son.
Yes.
Because guess what? She should be able to discipline him too. If she can pick him up from school, feed him, and do all of that, she should be able to tell him, "Hey, you on punishment." And when he go home to his biological mother, he's still on punishment because other mommy said he was on punishment.
That's right. Facts. And well, look at this, Dorothy. What if a man doesn't want to take the role, and she know plenty of men that don't do that?
Well, that's not the man for you.
Yeah. Yeah. He got to take care of the kids.
That's not the man for you then. No. If you have children and this woman or this man don't want to be a part of your children, then that's not the relationship that you need to be in.
See ya, bye.
And see, when I say make your spouse first, that doesn't mean abandon your children.
Nope. Never. Never abandon your children. Never abandon your children. You're just putting a man in his rightful place and teaching kids how to respect a man's role in the household. Hold him honorable. And even if you talk shit to your man, talk it in a private
don't talk shit to him.
No, I'm just saying correct. Well, not talk shit. I'm saying it in a slang way, but I mean,
don't. But see, that's the thing. Hold on.
Or correcting each other.
Don't say it in a slang way, because we take words for what they are. When you say talk shit, we mean, what the fuck you mean talk shit? You talking shit to me?
Well, I mean,
talking to your motherfucking self.
No, but I mean, even with some parts of, because the kid's mind is different. They retain things differently. Even down to sex. A kid can walk in there, I heard mommy screaming, they think you hurting her. To the point where if they see you arguing, they see how you discuss fighting or argument. If you ain't make what daddy want, how do you react to that? I mean, correcting each other or having differences of opinion. How do you handle those things? I mean, you just want to make sure that those kids see that you holding that man of the household to a certain respect level. They shouldn't be walking through saying he ain't this and talking mad, or even telling his friends about, that man, my mom say he ain't this. And no, you don't do that. You know what I mean? The
kids are only going to repeat. They're only going to die. They're only going to regurgitate what you fed them.
Absolutely. So just showing them that you value the man that you choose to lay with by giving him certain things, not above them, but at the same time, yeah, you can look at it how you want it. I'm just treating him like the king he is in my life.
Hold on, like Claire just said. If you go on these dating sites, the first thing you see is a woman saying, "Oh, my kids come first in my life," and that's why majority of them, are still single, because men know that he's never going to hold a high value spot in her life. He is just something to pay bills, and that's why.
So that's a good one. So how should he reply when the kids are saying that? Like, she's saying that her kids know who their dad is and stuff, and she's like, my kids
laughing. Of course they know who their father is, because he take care of them.
No, but what I'm saying is that how should a man reply when the kids, like, it ain't you saying that, oh, you ain't the father of these kids, when the kids, you treated him good, you saying you love him for everything you do, but the kids,
that's when everybody sit down as adults and have a conversation. Hey, listen. Y'all not gonna be disrespecting your stepfather. That's your stepfather, whether you like it or not. It's your stepfather.
That's right.
Listen, when he tell you something, it's as good as if I told you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely, it's a conversation that needs to be held amongst the family, and you can't just talk to him separately from the kids. You need to talk to them together.
You need to talk to everybody. You need to talk to everybody together. You need to talk. You need to talk to their father. You need to talk to their father. You need to talk to their father, his wife, you and your husband, and the kids. Hey, y'all got 2 sets of parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when your parents say something, it is what it is.
That's it.
But they're not ready for that, because some people are still holding on to the past relationships.
Yup, baggage, that part. You keep bringing in all that toxicity that the man did before you, and the other man did this to my child, and you ain't gonna do this to my child. I ain't do nothing. I just got here.
You're right. Exactly. And you're right. I'm not gonna do nothing to your child, because, like you said, it's your child.
That's right.
But you want me to treat it like it's mine, but I can't treat it like it's mine. Make that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if my child got out of the line, I'll pop that ass.
And like Clear TV said, to speak to their dad as well. So it's not just about talking to the man, the new man, and the children.
Oh no, that's what I said. You come sit down. All 4 of y'all come sit down together.
Absolutely. Everybody, so that the dad could tell them, absolutely not will you disrespect this man. Because if that dad is outside of the mother's relationship, he may encounter that with another woman, with another kid saying, you ain't my dad. So a man can relate to that, being apart from his baby or child's mom. If you out of the wedlock of your children's mom and you dating new people, if your child was said to say something disrespectful to a man, that your child is, you're the mother, and vice versa. You have to definitely address that. And even on the other end, which it kind of gets a little harder, but how about this, bro? When it's abuse, whether verbally, which is already an easy answer, because I'm gonna just answer, you leave this nigga alone. But a lot of people, and a lot of times children are being verbally threatened or assaulted behind the parents' back, and that person seeming to be a great spouse and on a presence on the outside.
We're not talking about them. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about the people that are pieces of shit. We talking about the ones that want to be there, that want to communicate, that want to do, that's willing to put the work in. And we also
talking about accountability. So as a woman, some women will, as we've seen in Precious, some people in certain movies, you've seen in certain movies, period. And in real life, like, you talk about putting your spouse first. So let's switch it around a little bit. You still put your spouse first. They're good, this and that. You find out some foul shit that has happened amongst them and your child that's really, like they say, disrespectful. It's like, what? You have the meeting and you address it. Is this something that, if it's of a certain seriousness, I mean, it ain't no bullshit like no socks on the floor. No, it's really serious. It's a abuse and assault, possibly. And it sprung to the table where this man physically hit your child, and I don't mean hit him, but there's marks on him. I mean, stuff like that, where y'all all come together, because it's been abuse on my child, and this man hit my son.
But hold on, hold on. We're not talking about that. Like I said, the topic is learning to communicate with one another, learning to make sure that we understand understand each other when we speak. And that's the problem. When men and women speak, men are usually talking about one thing and women are talking about another. So therefore, the situation never gets resolved and there's complete conflict.
I just feel like we're saying the same thing. It's tomato, tomato. If you say it's tomato, no, it's tomato, no, it's tomato, no.
No, we're not, but we're not saying the same thing.
But I didn't even talk about abuse. I was just talking about what type of conversation will be held in the midst of, if you didn't even finish the question that you was about to answer as far as what would that conversation look like? And there's so many ways it could turn.
You want to know why I didn't finish it? I didn't finish it because we were off topic.
Well, get back on topic, homie.
We can't get back on topic because you keep trying to explain you keep trying to explain.
I was going to questions that they're asking. I'm all,
And guess what? Notice some of those questions I skip over because they're off topic.
So what is the top? But listen, it's not You know why it's not because we had so many topics.
I didn't say I said
that you can rewind it and start a new live because we have been bouncing around different topics around relationship building, what makes it work, what doesn't make it work, what breaks it, why some people are good with this person and not the other person, why you chose your wife and not your ex, why I chose to be, everything is based on certain topics that pitch you to where you at or certain situations. Right now, I say we could go up this list and we have not stayed on topic, but certain topics tied right into one another. We would
veer off here and there, but get right back on topic. And up until this point, majority of questions were based on understanding one another.
We still haven't gained that understanding, and it's not going to be something that happens within this one.
But see, no. The point is simply this, the point is simply this. The reason why men and women always end up in an argument is because men will be talking about one thing, women will be talking about something completely different. We don't be talking about the same thing. We'll be talking about two different things. So it is always going to be a disconnect and an argument when we're talking about different things. Always. There'll always be that disconnection. And that it all goes back to learning how to understand what the other one is saying.
And we answered that question, Dorothy, about relationship. If the woman was the breadwinner and the man didn't do anything but sit at home. No, I mean, I know we talked about that, but go ahead, bro, because you're all over here.
Well, once again, if he's sitting at home doing the same thing that a woman did sitting at home, what's the difference?
Listen,
see,
like you say, that don't matter. It's just what you want to get.
If he keeping house the way a woman kept house when she stayed home all day, what's the difference?
Yeah. It's a preference.
They say keeping house is a job in itself, right? Yeah, you came late.
Yeah,
but
we were talking about that real deep.
Yeah, but damn, we've been
still good.
You know what? We've been on here for 3 hours.
That's good shit, bro. I love you.
No, that's bad. That's bad because it was supposed to be an hour and a half.
No, it ain't bad. Listen, we had a lot of food and it was really healthy.
Yes, it was.
I appreciated this. This was really healthy.
No doubt.
I think a lot of people need this more, and I'm willing to be down with the get down whenever you're ready to do it again. You know how we do.
And like I said, like I said before we ended out, the key is not to bash and blame, and not to put down. You understand? We all should try understanding and having a little bit more compassion.
Mm-hmm. See, she about to open up that worm again. But a woman keep the house and go back in here. We already did that.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah, it's another day. We definitely been on for 3 hours.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah, we definitely out.
At the end of the day, we need to get on the same page.
We're gonna learn. Look, it's me and y'all. We
gotta make this work because you know how I am. And I listen, we go fire, baby. We'll make a nuclear bomb go off. But it's all in good spirit, and we got a mission for these children and the families that we working with and our own families that we've been working on.
Listen, fuck them kids. Them kids is evil. But see, and most people know that's a joke for full-time parents.
Yeah. It's we love the kids. You know the shit, right? Like
no doubt, sis. Listen, we can pick that up on any given day.
Whenever,
you know what I mean? But what happened was I posed a question to women yesterday and men today. I asked women, what do they consider a good man? And I asked men, what do they consider to be a good woman? And for the most of it, men and women had the same attributes for one another.
Nice. And that's what it all started with. And I didn't even see those questions, but I know when I came in onto this live 3 hours ago, I was just asking you, what was it all about? Because I always tune into your lives, and they're very exhilarating, and it encourages me, being who I am, to soften up, but also stay hard and firm in what I feel, because these are the tough questions and things we got to go through, because a strong man got to get with the strong woman, because iron sharpens iron, baby, and we got to sharpen each other so that we can learn and help.
No. I don't need you to be strong. I need you to be soft and feminine.
Well, I'm a good damn woman. Every
no.
man need a virtuous, banging ass, dope ass woman.
There you go. That's a whole lot better. Stop. Let me tell you something. Listen. I need you to listen and understand. Sis, I need you to listen and understand something. If you keep using the term strong, it's not going to go the way you want it to go.
All right, brother. Damn, okay.
It's not. I'm telling you.
Process of changing, okay, with your help.
Because listen,
with your help, I'm in the process of changing this lingo that I've been programmed.
Strong women. Listen, strong women got to change them tires by themselves.
Listen, hey, and don't think I won't, huh? Don't think I won't.
And that's the problem. You're not supposed to. Stop being strong. Listen. There's more strength. There's more strength in being soft and feminine than there ever will be in a woman being strong. And with that being said, we're going to get up out of here because it's been 3 damn hours. Love you back, little sis. Bye. Yo, I love y'all, man. And we're going to holler at y'all. We're going to holler at y'all probably Thursday on another one, man.
All right, yo.
All right, peace, y'all.
Yeah, I love you, bro.